Thank you all so much for coming tonight. I'm Niccolo Seligman, this is Lucas Ashby, and you are hearing a program of medieval music played on a mix of medieval and other instruments. I've got 3 medieval fiddles on my left, your right, and I've got 1 medieval nyckelharpa that you'll hear later. What you just heard was Ce damer me repentoie, If Bitterness Makes Me Repent, by Guillaume de Machaut, one of the greatest composers of the 1300s. We're going to start next with a jumping dance called a saltarello. This comes from a manuscript called London 29987. And we'll be doing a couple of different pieces from London 29987. And what makes this manuscript so interesting is that it contains a lot of instrumental dance music. Very few instrumental dance pieces have survived from before 1500, partly because there was a bias during medieval times towards vocal music. Of course, God made the voice and humans made instruments, so vocal music is ranked higher than instrumental music. But not tonight. We are featuring medieval instruments and medieval instrumental music, of which this Saltarello number 3 is a classic example. Thank you all so much. Here, let's get this vocal mic. There we go. Thank you all so much. So up next, we have a Cantiga de Santa Maria. So the Cantigas de Santa Maria is a book of almost 500 praise songs and miracle songs in honor of the Virgin Mary. This was compiled by King Alfonso the Wise in around the 1250s. And this particular tune that we're going to do is a story about the Virgin Mary blessing a pork chop to make it dance so that its owners could find it again. And, well, they would eat it, but it's been blessed by the Virgin Mary, so now it's a relic, so they hang it in the church. This tune is called Non Soffre Santa Maria. It is a Cantiga de Santa Maria. And before we play it, I'm going to tune a little bit. Throughout the concert, you will hear some tuning. These are all gut strings on my end, and they are very susceptible to heat and humidity. And some of them are brand new strings as of 2 hours ago. So you will hear some tuning, including right now. And instead of tuning being boring, I think it's the most interesting. And what I'd like you to do, I'd like you to listen for when the two strings that I tune to one another, when the tuning locks, when it settles into tune. And you can hear it because it goes wub, 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 and then stops. So take a listen. Thank you so much. So next, we're going to feature a brand new instrument. This is a 5-string VL. You just heard a 4-string VL or medieval fiddle. This is a 5-string VL. And this is very special because it was built by my father-in-law, who is in the audience, for this Christmas. So this was my, yes, give him a round of applause. Ken Coons is the luthier. So this is a brand new VL. This is its first show, so give it a warm welcome. The piece that we're going to play, thank you. So the piece that we're going to play is La Seconde Estampille Reale. So this comes from a manuscript called The Manuscript of the King, the Manuscrit du Roi, and this is one of 8 estampilles. Now, an estampille is a dance that has a repeating form that has a chorus, basically, a refrain. And so I want you to listen for this chorus when it comes back, when there's new material, when there's old material you've heard before. This is the information that dancers would have used to orient themselves throughout the dance. So this is the Seconde Estampille Royale. Hey, thank you all. So if you liked that version and you were just like, well, it would be so much better if there was a full band with lots of instruments, then I'm happy to report that that tune is on the red CD for sale. That is by my band Alchemy, a full 5-piece medieval ensemble, and you can hear that track, La Seconda Stempi, on our red CD called Love to My Liking, which is available in the back. Next up, we have another Saltarello from that same manuscript, London 29987. You heard Saltarello 3 before. This is Saltarello 2. Thank you. Up next, we have Como Poden. This is a very famous Cantiga de Santa Maria. And the notation of the Cantigas de Santa Maria is a little tricky. There are two note values. There are long notes and short notes, and it's not clear how much longer the long notes are than the short notes. So the way we have interpreted it, this is in 11/8, which is not very spicy if you're Bulgarian, but it is very spicy if you're used to American music, which is in a time signature called 4/4. All right, up next we have our third instrument. This is another 5-string VL. It's in a different tuning, which is, you know, other than it being a flex to have this many VLs, that is why I have so many. So this next tune that I'm gonna play for you, we're gonna take the energy down a notch. We're gonna do some religious music. Well, I guess Como Poden is religious music, but this is really religious music. This is a Kyrie from a mass setting in honor of the hermit Saint Hilarion. This is from a manuscript called the Cyprus Manuscript. Yes, compiled on Cyprus. And this particular Kyrie, I think, really expresses the kind of solitude and contemplation that Saint Hilarion must have experienced. But first, tuning. Thank you so much. We are going to do another cantiga. This one is called Como Somos per Consella, and this is another spicy one rhythmically, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. So musicians in the audience, figure out what makes this one special. And we're going to follow that up. I won't talk in between. We'll just follow that up with another cantiga called Tanto Son da Gloriosa, and that one is totally normal. Thank you so much. We're going to do another solo VL piece. This one is called J'ai des Semblantes. It comes from a manuscript called the Leuven Chansonnier that was discovered in 2015. They are still finding old music. This piece is, the text means I get glances. So it's a little bit cheeky, but it's also a little melancholy. And what I want you to listen for is I'm playing two voice parts at once. It's written for three voices, and I'm playing two at once. See if you can follow both voice parts. Thank you so much. So this last tune for this instrument, we're going to do a tune called Isabella. This is also from London 29987, but it's a lot more complicated than the Saltarelli. But like the Saltarelli, it has a refrain that comes back again and again. So keep an ear out for that. And Lucas is going to be playing it all on a pandeiro, which is a kind of Brazilian tambourine. They had lots of tambourines in medieval period. They loved it. And I am just blown away by all of the different sounds and colors that he gets out of this single tambourine. So enjoy Isabella. Thank you so much. Isabella, one of my favorite tunes. I've been playing it for about 10 years, and it never gets old. So the last instrument on this program is the viola a chiavi. So this is an instrument also built by my father-in-law, Ken Coons. And the way it works, instead of touching the strings with my left hand to change the notes, you actually touch keys. So to open the peg box here, the keys work because they have little wooden nubbins on them that touch the strings just like a finger would. So it's a little bit of heavy machinery for medieval times, very complicated. And those of you who are familiar with Swedish traditional music might recognize this as an ancestor of the Swedish nyckelharpa. So the first tune that we're going to play on it is La Septime Estampe Royale. We already heard La Seconde. This is the 7th of those 8 estampes. And if you like the sound of this, you can also hear a version of this one on the red CD, Love to My Liking by Alchemy. All right. So we visited the Cyprus manuscript when we did the Kyrie. This is another piece from the Cyprus manuscript, this time written with rhythmic notation. The Kyrie is not, it's just chant notation, there's no written rhythms. But this one, the rhythms are very precise. This is called Je ne sais pas, which means I don't know. Thank you so much. So we've got two more tracks. One of them is a trotto. This is a dance. I'm not sure how it is danced, actually. I should look that up. But this is also from 29987, home of the Saltarelli and Isabella. Oh, and Lucas says this one is very well suited to Brazilian music. Thank you all so much. You have been such a wonderful audience. It's been an absolute blast playing for you guys. We've got one more track. This is Una Pantera, a Panther, by Johannes Jaconia. This has been Lucas Ashby on percussion and Nicolo Seligman on medieval bowed strings. Thank you. We have CDs and records available at the back for sale, not for free. But what is free is signing up for my mailing list, which is also at the back with the CDs. So if you want to hear when I'm playing next, or if you want to hear some of my other ensembles, that's a great way to keep up with what I'm doing. So this is Una Pantera. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to thank the whole team at the Kennedy Center and Jordan, especially for being our contact person. It's been absolutely wonderful working with you. And I wish you all a happy new year and a wonderful evening. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you for joining us at Millennium Stage. For information about upcoming shows, please check out the Kennedy Center website or Facebook page. At this time, we ask that you please head to the back of the seating area so we can safely put away our chairs. As you exit, you will find QR codes to complete a brief survey on your experience today with Social Impact. Your feedback makes it possible for us to continue programming like this. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening at the Kennedy Center.